Riding a bike in the winter necessitates the use of thick and bulky gloves with absolutely no bar feel. That is, unless you're using something from KNOX. These are quite an impressive pair of gloves from KNOX. It's actually the newest version, and it's actually the 4th version of this glove. This is the KNOX Zero 4 waterproof motorcycle glove. As of the making of this video, they come in at £179.99, and they're available in the black colorway you can see here. I really like the previous version of these, and they were one of my absolute top picks when it comes to battling cold weather, and usually that is a losing fight. You tend to lose the feeling in your fingers, but I have to say the Zero 3 put up a really good fight against that, and the same continues with this one, but a big difference here is that these actually are a little bit slimmer feeling, so you have a bit more dexterity and feeling at the bars, and it is quite noticeable when you get them on. I'm sure you're familiar with the KNOX brand and the quality of their protection, the quality of their armor. And the same carries through to their gloves. So they've got a whole range of gloves. Some of the most eye-catching, I suppose, in terms of armor and protection are the likes of the Handroid or Handroid Pod. Now, interestingly, across the rest of their range, you'll see a lot of the same sorts of function and features, just applied in a slightly different way, slightly more subtle on other gloves in their range as well, if you don't want something quite as eye-catching as those. So this has a really great level of protection across it, and because of that, obviously they are CE approved. They also happen to be fully waterproof, which in the winter is a crucial part of your gloves. So these have a high-performance event air permeable waterproof membrane. As with any waterproof membrane, they also claim to be breathable as well, so it won't trap in moisture or sweat. And I have to say, gloves are never really the place where I struggle when it comes to breathability. I struggle a lot more when it comes to jackets or trousers. With gloves, my hands don't tend to get that sweaty in the winter at all, so it's never really a problem. But the most important thing, of course, in the winter is that they are waterproof. You don't want that water to get through because that will chill your hands out even quicker. They also use Primaloft Gold water resistance insulation. So clearly you need some padding in there to keep your hands warm in the winter. And because it is a newer, improved version of Primaloft, it is more slimline. So they are noticeably lighter feeling than the previous iteration of the Zero. The outer construction is a mix of goat leather and high tenacity nylon. You can see sections of that across the back of your wrist there, for example, or on your pinky. Nice little extra detail over there. The rest, as mentioned, is goat leather. And you'll see that used a lot in motorcycle gloves because it is pretty supple. It is very hard wearing, and you tend to find that in higher quality motorcycle gloves. And the fact that it is leather does mean that it is going to fit and form to your hand the longer you own it. Now, where fit is concerned, these are a size large. I'm a size 9 hand, as you'll definitely have heard me say in the past. I generally wear a size large, and I can tell you this is a very comfortable fit. There's no restriction in there. It is really nice looking. I like the fact that it's got this kind of wrap over design as well with the stitching on the fingers there, rather than being stitched in the center. Sometimes you'll feel that stitching from the inside, so that gets rid of that problem. And they really are quite a comfortable, non-restrictive pair of gloves to wear. Part of that will be down to the armor as well, which I'll explain in a second, but let's stick with the fit around the wrist. For example, you have that closure that works very, very slick. And then across your wrist, one of my favorite things across KNOX's glove range is the BOA system. It's a ratcheted system around your wrist, and it's somewhat addictive to play with. You just pop it in and then tighten it around anti-clockwise, and that will give you a secure fit each and every time. And you can adjust that each and every time as well, so you know that it is fitting you really well. You've also got some armor around your wrist as well. So you have this section here, which is backed with their micro-lock armor. You'll have seen that across the rest of their range as well. So it's soft and malleable. It stiffens under impact if you were to have a crash, but the rest of the time it's really flexible. And you can see that backed on the wrist protection. You can also see it on the scaphoid protection, and it is behind this knuckle protection as well, meaning that you don't feel any of this across the back of your hand or wrist. It's all really comfortable to wear. The knuckle armor is also changed on this version, so you can see this carbon fiber effect, hexagonal design to the back of your knuckles. On the previous version, it was floating armor, and it did extend a fair amount from the back of your hand, This one, a little bit more slimline and adds to the lightweight feeling of it. Still backed with micro-lock armor. And you can also see some armor to the backs of your fingers. And a couple of extra details. You have something to use a touchscreen in your index finger and your middle finger and your thumb. And you have a visor wiper at your thumb as well, so you can clear water from your visor. And that is a flexible rubber. Sometimes what you find with visor wipers is they're made of hard plastic or a really hard rubber, which means they're quite likely to scratch your visor. This is much more forgiving. KNOX make a point of mentioning their patented scaphoid protection system, and I think it is worth shouting about because it is a hard outer. It isn't grippy, so if you were to come off, for example, obviously you don't want to come off the bike, but you want to know that your armor is going to perform as it should if you were to. This isn't going to grip the tarmac when you come off, which means your hand is going to slide away from you, so you're much less likely to hyperextend your wrist or roll over your hand, and that's really what you want. And it's that care and attention to the protection that they offer that I really appreciate from KNOX. You know that every element of this has been really thoroughly thought through. A fantastic winter option. I will drop links to these in the description, but you can also check out the rest of KNOX's range if you want to see some more of what they offer. Let us know what you think of these in the comments section, and I'll see you soon.